Hi, I'm Nel and Naidoo, political analyst at Oxford Economics Africa, and I'm joined by my colleague Nel as we discuss what political developments caught our attention this past week. In this week's video, we discuss stories in Ethiopia and Zimbabwe. On March 26, Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed announced that Getachew Reda would immediately step down as Tigray interim president while he looks for a new one. Mr. Getachew's departure comes amid deep factionism within the Tigray People's Liberation Front. Mr. Getachew leads one faction, while Debretsion Gebremichael, former TPLF chairman and regional president, heads another. Now, Mr. Gebremichal's forces have been busy. On March 11th, they took control of two key institutions in Mekelle, the capital city of the Tigray region, Mekelle FM, one of the major radio stations, and the mayor's office. On that same day, his forces took control of Adigrat, Tigray's second largest town near the Eritrean border. All of this fighting and factionism raises concerns that the fragile peace established after the brutal civil war could unravel. Beyond politics, economic risks loom. Ethiopia's wartime human rights record, along with conflicts that are ongoing in Amhara and Oromia, continue to damage the country's reputation. Another war in Tigray would heighten reputational risks and further deter investors. So tell us what's going on in Zimbabwe.
Yes, interesting times in Zimbabwe, where ZANU-PF factionalism is threatening to boil over again. Now, competition within the long-ruling party is nothing new. Indeed, President Emerson Mnangagwa's ascent to the presidency in 2017 was really the victory of his faction, known as the Lacoste faction, a reference to his nickname, the Crocodile, over the so-called Generation 40 faction, a group headed by former Information Minister Jonathan Moyo and ZANU's then political commissar Xavier Kasukuwere, although it was popularly associated with then First Lady Grace Mugabe. The current rivalry is between Mnangagwa and Vice President Constantino Chiwenga. You'll recall, Jevon, that Chiwenga was the head of the Zimbabwe Defense Force in 2017 when Mugabe was ousted in a palace coup. The story has always been that Mnangagwa secured his support through promises that Chiwenga would succeed him as president once he completed his first or his second term in office, depending on who was telling the story. Now, Chiwenga has been biding his time, waiting his turn, even though his supporters, mainly military veterans, have been calling for him to launch a leadership challenge. What has upset the equilibrium is calls by Mr. Mnangagwa's supporters for him to stay beyond the end of his second term in 2028, but only by 2 years. Mr. Mnangagwa has publicly dismissed Agenda 2030, as it's called, but hasn't done much to rein in those campaigning for it. And this has fueled suspicion that he actually likes the idea and knows that a 2-year extension is pretty much the same as an indefinite extension, a la Robert Mugabe. I mean, once you've disregarded the constitution a little, why not a lot? Enter Blessed Geza, a war veteran with the nickname Bombshell. Geza was largely unknown until he started calling out Mnangagwa for corruption and his mismanagement of the country, saying Chiwenga should replace him. Geza went into hiding in February amid rumors of his imminent arrest, and the former ZANU-PF Central Committee member was also expelled from the party. On March 20th, Geza appeared on a live stream on X and YouTube saying Mnangagwa and his rogues should go, and calling on Zimbabweans to mobilize on March 31st. He also suggested that opposition parties supported the call and actually liked Mr. Chiwenga, something they quickly and wisely disavowed. So is the Mnangagwa regime worried about Bombshell? Signs are yes. Mr. Mnangagwa retired the head of his army on Tuesday, March 25th, and appointed him as his new sports minister. Some say he's worried about the loyalty of his senior officers, who may indeed have greater affection for Mr. Chiwenga, and frets that the events of 2017 are about to repeat themselves. For now, public order police are out on the streets of Harare again, and will no doubt crack down on any gathering this coming Monday.
Thank you for joining Africa Insight this week. If you'd like more information on our products or services, please visit our website or socials.